Hi, Nicolas and Nina. Great to see you, and thank you so much for coming back on the channel.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having us.
You are very welcome. So recently, it was about 6 weeks ago, uh, we had a talk about how you set up the research institute in Brazil, the Rejuvenation Science Institute, and you were working on reproducing Dr. Katcher's work and then extending it to non-human primates and humans. So, for those who are interested in Dr. Katcher's work and also what Nicolas and Nina are doing with the Institute, I've linked to the relevant videos above, so you can catch up on those. But Nicolas and Nina, I believe you have an update since we spoke 6 weeks ago in terms of when you'll be able to start the experiment. So could you talk about that, please?
Yeah, many things happened since that interview, despite the short time. So we found the necessary rats. This is the first thing. It wasn't easy. I mean, we need old rats, 25-month-old rats,
Spread dollar rest.
spread dollar rat. So you may think it's I thought it was easier, but it's not so easy because usually the facilities of animals they have rats at most of, let's say, 12 months old. So 25 or 20 month old, it's very rare. So after searching in the whole world, in many universities and labs and countries, we found out that the best option was precisely the rats that the university Unicamp from our city has. So they have rats that nowadays are 9.5 months old. So they will be 25 months old on June 2026 next year. So approximately 1 year and 3 months and a half from now. So as we can't change the age of the rats, the moment of the experiment can't be changed. It had to be on June 2025. Yes. So also was we were able to secure two important donations for the project. I mean, our project is with the budget defined too. We were able to define the budget. The total budget will be $75,000. So from this $75,000, $50,000 will be to the university part of the experiment. So to the procedures, the Unicamp will be for our institute's part of the experiments, the procedures that our institute will carry out. So from this $75,000, we were able to secure these two donations, one from an NGO called DoNotAge.org, which will fund 25, which will donate $25,000, and the other donation will come from Hillis, is an NGO from Belgium, which will donate $10,000. So together, it's $35,000. So it's almost the half of the total. And also, we are making a crowdfunding campaign to fund the rest, the $40,000, the additional $40,000. And there were some people that already donated like smaller amounts, but we count on those amounts to have the rest of the money for the experiment. So we are very optimistic about it because we have 1 year and 3 months to raise those reserves. But in fact, we would like to solve the funding question this year, because if we are with this question very near the experiment next year, it can be a bit, can complicate the other things we have to do, because there are so many things we have to do. For example, right now we have to find the pigs, because the pigs needs to be 6 or 7 months old in June of next year. But this time we will need much more pig's blood than the last year. The last year we used only the blood of one pig, and in this experiment it would be around 10 pigs. So it's we have to find an animal, a farm. We have to find a farm, to plan everything with the veterinary. So it's not a simple thing, but at least this funding question is under control by now.
Excellent. So the trial itself will be run at the university, is that right?
Well, yes, but the collection of the blood is done not at the university. I mean, we do the collection of the blood in a farm, because the collection of the blood needs to be made according with Brazilian rules of animal use to scientific research. And in that regard, the collection should be done when the farm will simply the farm. Oh, Nina came back.
Sorry.
The collection of the blood should be done when the farm will normally, as the usual procedure, like sacrifice the pigs to their normal use. So let's say they sell the meat. Okay, we can't change anything the farm do. It's after the normal procedure of the farm. We have to collect the blood. So this can't be done in the university. So then we will take this blood in the correct temperature to the university. And then, yes, in the university, the small, the
Extracellular particles.
the extracellular particles, the pig's plasma extracellular particles, the PEPs, as we call it them, will be isolated from the plasma of the blood, and then it will be tested in the rats in the university. Yes, that part of the experiment will happen in the university.
Okay. And then the university, so who's going to write the paper? Who's going to write the results of it? Will it be someone from the university, or will it be you?
Yeah, probably as it happened in the last experiment, we will be writing it, like the basis at least, and then we do like in collaboration. So in the last paper that we wrote, that is in BioRxiv, me and Nicolas wrote the paper, and then we sent to the postdoctoral student that was doing the experiment with us, and she revised it, suggested a lot of things. So it's a bit of a back and forth, but the basis, usually it's us. We are the ones that write it, and then it's back and forth, and then also with the professor. So yeah, we are the main authors in the sense of who writes it.
But differently from the last paper in which we hired the university, in this paper, it would be a joint scientific experiment. It will be a proper collaboration. So the paper will be made by everybody. I think that the way to write the paper won't change, but the experiment is formally a collaboration between our institute and the university UNICAP.
Yeah. Also, we are right now doing a lot of bureaucratic work regarding this, because we have to establish a contract, a collaboration contract with the university. So there's a lot of those things going on as well.
Okay. So you did talk last time about using an international organization to do the testing, but this time for this case you're going to be using the university. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, well, we talked a bit more with that other organization, the one that is also here in Brazil, but they do experiments in an international standard. And what they said to us is that they can do the safety procedures, the safety experiments to ensure that the compound, the big plasma extracellular particles are safe in Sprague-Dawley rats. But the efficacy part, so testing if they rejuvenated, testing their memory or grip strength or blood tests to see if rejuvenation happened, this they wouldn't be able to do. So that's why we decided to do together with the university. So the efficacy part we will do with the university, and the safety part we will do with them, because there's a lot of things if you are thinking about moving to clinical trials, there's a whole range of tests that you have to do with the animals to make sure that it's safe. So that's what their specialty is. So this is why we have to divide, let's say, the experiment in two. And in that case, they don't need old rats. So if we prove efficacy, then we can start working with them, and it will be quicker because we don't have to wait for the animals to age.
It's all related with the regulatory environment of Brazil. I mean, they work in this other facility in Santa Catarina State. They work strictly in which the Brazilian government and Brazilian agency of studies for medicine requires. So they only make the safety test, because to test efficacy in rats is much more complicated in rats, because you can test a therapy for hundreds of different diseases. So if you have to test efficacy for hundreds of different diseases, maybe are different tests for hundreds of different tests. However, to test safety is much more straightforward. you know?
Yeah, there's like a list of tests
Yeah.
that you have to do, basically.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which disease you want to cure. They will test if it's safe. So they have a standard, a small set of test standard to young and healthy rats. So, and they do the safety test. So this is a facility specialized in safety regulatory trials. And they explained it to us that, as Nina said, the efficacy test can be done in the university, provided that the final report is very well specified and written and correctly registered.
So when, if you starting in June 2026, when would when would a rat normally die, or when would you expect to start seeing the results from then?
So the experiment starts in June 2026, but it lasts 5 months because we have to give a first dose to the animals. The experiment starts in terms of when the animals will be injected with the plasma fraction, but before that we have to isolate it. So there's a bit of work before, but in terms of the rats, it lasts around 5 months because we have to do a first injection, then 3 months later, right? 3 months later, we have to do a second injection, and then we have to wait to do other tests. So in terms of the animals, the experiment lasts 5 months. And for some of the tests that we intend to do that are the same ones that Harold did in his article, the animals need to be sacrificed. So we need to analyze things in the organs and things like that. But we are thinking like this is not a final thing. It's something that we are considering is to keeping some of the animals alive to see if we keep giving more doses, they will keep living or live longer to check if this increases their lifespan. But this aspect of the experiment is not contemplated in the budget that we set. It's just the budget is not for this part of seeing the lifespan. So the idea is that if we see a positive results, if we see that the rats, while they're still alive, if we see that they are rejuvenated, then we'll try to get more money, more donations to keep the animals alive. So that is a second goal that we have. We're not sure that we'll be able to do it. And it also depends on the experiment. If the animals don't show considerable rejuvenation, it won't make sense to do it.
Yeah, I mean, after 5 months, we'll make an evaluation, an assessment if the rats rejuvenated. If they rejuvenated, everybody will be, informed because our experiment is not, a secretive experiment from, trying to get intellectual property. Then we have to hide everything. So no, completely on the contrary. We will let you know if the rats rejuvenated, and then, as Nina said, we intend to keep the rats alive, or some of the rats or most of the rats alive, because no measurement, epigenetic, blood measurement, no measurement is better to indicate the control of the aging process that rats that don't die from aging. So rats that live indefinitely. So that any person can understand that.
Yes, yeah. If you can show that that would be amazing.
Yeah, because
I was going to ask how many rats you're going to have? How many and which groups?
We have 10 old treated rats, and 10 young treated rats, so 7 months old, right? So we also inject the compound. This is a bit different from what Harold did, but the professor in the university that is our collaborator, he wanted to also investigate, because the university is also a collaboration now. So they're also putting resources into this. So he also wants to investigate if we can keep them young or younger. And we'll also have 10 old control rats, so the same age, the 25 months old, and 10 young control rats, so 7 months old, that are just the control as well. So in total are 40 rats. Yeah, 20 of them will be treated and 20 of them will be control.
So instead of 3 groups in Harold experiments, it will be 4 groups. I mean, Harold tried old treated rats. Then he had an old control rats, and they had young control rats. 3 groups. We added one more, young treated rats, to see if we can, we can keep them young too.
That will be interesting to see. Do you expect any further kind of updates in the near term, or where can people follow any updates that come out?
So we have a newsletter. So in our website, I think you'll link it below. You can subscribe to our newsletter. We are sending monthly newsletters with everything that we did in the month. And also in our social media, we're doing some videos. But these videos are mainly focused on getting more donations and things like that. It's not so much on updating, but there will also be some kind of updates on the videos, depending on what is happening. But if you want to know what we have done in the last month, how things are moving forward, the best place, I think, is the newsletter. And the newsletter, we have it in 3 languages. So if you subscribe it, you will receive it automatically in Portuguese, but there's a link like see it in English, and then you click it and and you can see it in English and Spanish. So it's 3 languages.
Also, we have our social media. We have the Instagram of the Institute and the LinkedIn of the Institute, and we will release updates about the experiment there too. So
the YouTube channel.
And the YouTube channel, precisely. So the newsletter and Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube.
If people want to support your funding, support your operation through the funding, they can. There's a link where there's a page, right, on the Institute. So you did talk about doing crowdfunding. Is that in the same place, or is that something different?
No, it's basically the same thing. Like every resources. So in our website, there's you can click donate, and you can donate via Google Pay, Apple Pay, credit card, PayPal as well. And every donation that comes into the Institute is directly for this. And we also put like a bar saying how much we have, how much we still need to get. So it's all that. It's not like a different platform or something like that. It's just that every donation that comes into the Institute will go towards that experiment, because it's the only experiment that we're doing right now. We're not. Is our only focus right now.
And also, it's a funding in the specific sense of the term, crowdfunding. It's not necessarily the way crowdfunding was popularized in the last decades, so with some platforms which have a specific way to work with, specificities. No, this is a crowdfunding. I mean, we count on people who are interested in the reproduction of this experiment. This is a collective effort, and we are, making this process only in our website. I mean, our website, it's very easy to find everything to donate, with several ways to donate as well. And yes, and besides the automatic button, to use PayPal or Stripe or credit card, if some people have another way to donate, cryptocurrencies, or a higher amount, which is not, included in the automatic process, they can write to our institute, and we will find a way to do it without the automatic ways of the website.
Okay, excellent. Well, I really wish you luck with that, and with the whole experiment. I mean, it's great that you're doing this, and yeah, Harold Katcher's original result was so good. I mean, if you can reproduce that, that will be wonderful, and especially take it forward into other species as well.
One thing, in the end of 2026, we'll know already if the rats rejuvenated. So in our schedule, it's in our website, you can see that rats trials are scheduled for 20 2025, 2026. So we intended to extend then to non-primate, non-human primates. So after rejuvenation of the rats, if it happens, it's hard to predict what can do the velocity, the speed, because if the rats are, living in university young and, without any age-related problems, we will let the whole world know. So let's see how the speed goes, because our preoccupation is with the people who are right now in nursing homes, in CTUs, dying in this exact moment. So speed is very important. So this experiment is the hardest, Richard. The rat experiment is the hardest, because after we prove rejuvenation with a reproducible method that can be reproduced in any part of the world, we hope this is more quickly, we don't want to take 10 years and 15 years. This is the hardest experiment, the rats rejuvenation experiment. So then we hope, if you are successful in rejuvenating rats, that this can be available in just a few years.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, that's a great goal. And like so much of everyone else's, like the other science just takes so long. Like everything is so long, and it's just really, and it's great that you have this real sense of urgency. So yeah, I really I really do wish you luck, and I hope that everything goes well. Yeah, I mean, reach out to me if there's anything, and I'll be happy to help in any way that I can.
But
Thank you.
but to be quickly, to be rapid, the study, that is why we're doing like this, openly, completely transparent, and counting on people's help.
And also people helping in the sense of other people in other parts of the world be inspired to try to reproduce it as well, because if more people try to do it, or with different animals, different blood sources, different treated animals. This will all as well help the science to move forward. So we also want people's help in that sense, like other researchers to do it. That's why we also want to be as transparent as possible. Like that's why we did as a non-profit, because we can say everything. We can collaborate with everyone. So yeah, this is another thing that we think will help to do it quicker.
Yes, the speed is related to the help of the people and to be a collaborative and collective process. This is for everybody and not just for some people that can be privileged in any way.
Great. Okay. So thank you so much for sharing the update. It's great. It's great that you've got some of the funding anyway, and that you've got the experiment kind of started, and you've got a date set for when it's going to like really start. So yeah, wonderful. And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.